Let's go.
We'll be starting in just a minute. Excited for the XRP Community Day, all. All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm Marcus Infanger, Senior Vice President of RippleX, and it's a real privilege for me here today to welcome you all to the very first XRP Community Day hosted on X. To provide some context up front, this is going to be really a global virtual event with the purpose of celebrating the continued innovation, utility, and growth across the XRP Ledger ecosystem, and above all, to showcase and recognize the awesomeness of this entire community. So in a nutshell, this is really about bringing together those of us already contributing to the XRPL in one way or another, but also welcoming the broader crypto community to learn more about XRP's impact and discover how you can get involved in this growing, exciting blockchain ecosystem. In terms of logistics, we wanted to make the event accessible to a global audience, so we've aimed to spread several sessions across the EMEA, Americas, and APAC time zones. So get ready for the next few hours. Stack up on drinks and snacks as we'll tour around the globe to cover key topics, including things like cross-chain innovation, institutional DeFi adoption, XRPL ecosystem growth and roadmap, Ripple's priorities for blockchain innovation this year, or the future of crypto regulations. Lastly, I'm particularly excited that we have some great members from the community, such as Axelar, First Ledger, OpenEden, Archax, Peersys, Sologenic, and many more lined up to share their thoughts, insights, and ideas here today. On that note, I have now the great pleasure of handing over to Ripple CEO Brad Garlighouse and the President of XRPL Commons, David Bichiri, who are going to kick things off with a look at recent XRPL milestones, Ripple's role in the community, and also the launch of the RLUSD stablecoin. Over to you, Brad and David.
Hello, this is David speaking. Hi, Brad.
Hi, David. How are you?
I'm doing really well. I'm calling in from London today. Where are you?
I am in sunny, sorry, I was going to say sunny California. I mean sunny Florida. And it actually is a sunny day in Florida today for those that are down this way. And by the way, Marcus, thank you for teeing everything up and being a key organizer behind this.
Fantastic to get this conversation started. We had a previous conversation last year. It was at the Paris Blockchain Week in April. So not that long ago, but it really feels that so much has happened. So how about we start with maybe doing a recap of 2024? What are the key moments that stand out for you as the CEO of Ripple?
Well, certainly. I mean, 2024, I think, I've been at Ripple almost 10 years now, and I think 2024 will certainly stand out as one of the most monumental for a bunch of reasons. I think it would be a mistake to not start and acknowledge the recent U.S. election and, of course, the appointees that came from that election. And sorry, there's some noise going on here in the background. Sorry. So anyway, I think Trump winning the election, whatever you think about his personal politics, for crypto and the crypto industry, it is certainly profound. I think his choice around nominations as the Treasury Secretary, Scott Bessent, is just an all-star of a human being, a brilliant man, and certainly a guy who has leaned into innovation throughout his career. Appointing Paul Atkins as head of the SEC, I think Paul has so far, he hasn't been confirmed yet, He hasn't commented much, but I think many people who know him and have known his points of view about the cases the SEC has brought against Ripple and others, that I think it really will be a sea change. What I think truly I feel like has been an unlawful war on crypto. I doubt there will be accountability for some of that, but I can always be hopeful. I will just say as a random comment on this, I was in Washington for the inauguration, as some people saw, and I went to the crypto ball, and one of the people that was at the crypto ball was Bill Hinman, and I thought, okay, wait, this is the guy who architected the war on crypto, and he's at the crypto ball. I was quite startled by it. But look, there was an uneven playing field, and that has been reset. There is being reset in real time. And I think, seeing XRP back in the top 3 in terms of market cap certainly is a manifestation of that. But many on this call will recall that at one point XRP was the second most valuable. And so, it's frustrating to look back and to see how the SEC manipulated those outcomes, but I think that's behind us. And so if I'm recapping 2024, I'll start with that's a really big shift. A couple others that I'll just highlight that I'm very excited about and maybe gets under reported on or less attention. The AMM, the automated market maker on the XRPL, went live in 2024 and it has now done over $1 billion in swap volume. Just this year, it's averaging about $17 million per day. So it's done this year in just January, it's done over $400 million. So I think having an efficient AMM on XRPL, I think is a really big deal to make the embedded DEX successful. Other things for Ripple, I'll just comment real quickly. We obviously launched Ripple RLUSD right at the end of the year. It's still early days, but very excited about. We've talked publicly about some of the reasons why we did that. The Ripple Custody Group has signed some. We signed HSBC last year. You're seeing, and I think people still undercount how the headwinds are shifting to tailwinds when you see the HSBCs of the world acknowledging that they need a solution around custody even for their customers as well. And the last thing I'll comment on that I think was a big deal for the XRP community in 2024 is getting the ETF filings. You saw Bitwise, WisdomTree, Canary, 21 Shares, new ones from CoinShares, ProShare. It just, again, back to the winds have changed. I think some people probably saw there's a JP Morgan report suggesting that with the XRP ETFs, once they're live, that we'll see somewhere around $8 billion of capital inflows. And, look, I'm an optimist. I admit that served me well in life. And I think in some ways we may exceed that handily as we look at what happens in 2024. So I will stop there as a recap and back over to you, David.
Definitely a good overview of 2024. So I think everyone feels the change in vibe for the crypto space in general, and blockchain applications seem to have a new future in front of them. Do you think it only applies to the US, or do you think that's something that's global?
Oh, look, all of these technologies are inherently global in some way. And so certainly as I think about Ripple's mandate, and I've said publicly before, during the SEC lawsuit, the vast majority of our hiring was non-US. I've shared that over 90% of our customers signed over the last 4 years are non-US. I do think there'll be a shift back. The United States.
Not sure if this is us or
underappreciating how strong those tailwinds will become.
Yeah, and I would say from XRPL Commons is operating from France, and I would say for a while we had the feeling that we had a head start before the US in Europe because we had more clarity on the regulation. But it seems that everyone's getting a whip behind their back to move forward faster. And I think the race for innovation is on. And it's a really positive sign for everyone. I'm very excited about that. Now, you know, a lot of countries, maybe not a lot, but some countries are, you know, a lot of countries, maybe not a lot, but some countries are. And how do you see that unfold?
Yeah. So first of all, thank you for asking. I could, humorously pretend I didn't even know this was a topic in the
All right, so
crypto land after this weekend's.
I just want so you guys can go back to that. This is gonna be going on all day, like for a while, not all day, but for a while. There's 22,000 people, but we do have a show today. Okay, I would love to sit and listen to this the entire time, but there's a lot of updates that we need to go over with Coffee and Crypto today. So I just wanted to show you all that literally right now is the very first XRP Community Day happening right now on Twitter Spaces Live. And there's a lot of new news, a lot of new developments that I have to drop on you all today. That's why we couldn't sit there. You'll probably hear those developments on this interview. So if you have another device, I recommend maybe just pulling it up on the other side just to stay updated, and then keeping Coffee and Crypto Network up as well. And if you only have one device, stay tuned in, stay locked in the Coffee and Crypto Network, because there will be a replay on Twitter. They always have a replay on Ripple's website. So as soon as, Ripple's page, that you all can go back and rewatch that entire thing, or at least re-listen to as much of it as you possibly want to. But there's a lot of updates happening. Some of the things that we're excited about in the XRP community moving forward is the SEC. Hopefully today, they say that the whole lawsuit is completely dropped. If that happens, expect some bullish turmoil in the XRP price. We know that there's some other updates. We want to hear some more things about the AMM, the automated market makers. We want to hear more things about tokenized real world assets coming onto the XRP ledger. We want to hear from some of the project leads of different projects that we're invested into, layer 2 tokens that we already are buying. You'll be able to hear from some of the lead CEOs and tech developers in those spaces on that Twitter Spaces. So this is going to be one of the dopest ones. And like every other show, we're going to go ahead and get this thing popping the right way. Welcome to Coffee and Crypto. Today, this is episode number 247. We are almost at 250 episodes, and I want to say thank you to each and every single person that takes the time to join us live on these calls. And I want to thank everybody that goes back and rewatches our replays, and for everybody that gives us thumbs up and comments inside of our videos. Y'all have no idea how much that truly helps us with our algorithm and catching. So, if you all don't mind, after these episodes, especially if you're on the Zoom, just go over to the Coffee and Crypto YouTube channel, smash the thumbs up button. And once the video is uploaded and we are done going live, just drop your favorite part, even if it's just some coffee. Drop some coffee, drop your favorite part, of today's episode in the comment section. That way we can go back and respond, because the more comments we have, it really does push us to the top. And I truly believe, I know, look, I know we don't got the background yet, okay, like some of these other crypto, gurus out here and stuff, but I'm gonna be real with you. It ain't really even about the quality of the background. It's about the quality of the information. And y'all best to know that the background is finna change in 2025. Like, this is not a joke. Like, I'm not worried about no background. I'm not worried. Look, started from the bottom. We started from the bottom. And then remember this background, and remember the background that y'all gonna see going through 2025 once we pick up steam here in Coffee and Crypto Network. So I'm telling y'all right now, really excited. Shout out to Aisha, the pharmacist, on the call on the YouTube channel. I ain't never seen your name before, so I'm grateful to have you here. Whoever invited you, thank you so much for tuning in, tapping in, and make sure you guys send this link out to your friends and family. And with that being said, we do have quite a bit of information to cover today. So as always, I want to start with this disclaimer. Coffee and Crypto Network is not a financial advice show. We do not offer financial advice. This show is for entertainment purposes only. All the information that you get here literally is for entertainment. Okay, I don't know if you're going to make money, you're going to lose money. I can't tell you that. These are just things that entertain us, things that we think are exciting, developments that we think are interesting. And before you go and put any money in, make sure you at least do your own research, or get up with a financial advisor or somebody that can advise you in this space to help you so that you can take your investments to the next level. Because again, on this show, we are literally just entertainment. All right. This is literally entertainment. So don't take the stuff that we say, don't take it serious. All right. But take it serious if you understand what I'm saying. Shout out to John Jack for JJ. My boy John Jackson invited Miss Aisha, the pharmacist. Shout out to my boy John Jackson, always inviting new people, getting them plugged into what's happening here in the crypto and the tech space. With that being said, since we got some new people watching, I got to show out today, y'all. I got to show out today. I got to make sure that they come back. I got to make sure they come back, right? So y'all already know how I do. I got to make sure they come back. So I'm going to show out today. So if y'all see me showing out today, if y'all see me, you know what I mean, doing a little more than I usually do, just know I'm trying to impress our new people that's tuning in. Let's get it. All right. With that being said, we are dealing with a huge uproar right now. Okay. And I want to just show you guys exactly what's happening right now. Okay. Let's go and look at the NVIDIA chart. Okay. Let's go and look at now. It did recover. We did get a little bit of a bounce back. Not much, but a little bit. So let's go to the last 5-day chart. Okay, this is the last 5 days for NVIDIA. NVIDIA was, trading at almost 150, around 148 was around the high. And just like that, we crashed down to 117. So we went from 148 to 117, the largest crash in history. Nearly $600 billion wiped out of the NVIDIA stock, okay, which really did put a hurting. It really put a hurting on our markets. Now, I want to play this quick video clip from CNBC, and then we're going to talk about something that's very interesting. But I'm going to play a couple of moments from this right here so you guys, for you all that don't know what happened with this new Chinese AI company, startup company known as Deepseek. I'm going to play this for just a little bit from CNBC, and then we're going to dive into some other ideas that I had in my mind in regards to this. I hope you all enjoy. Let's get it.
Deepseek R1. Is the sell-off across those names he mentioned deserved? Raymond James Tavis McCord is here to look at that for us today. VC Bradley Tusk on why it's going to be hard not to use Deepseek. Cybersecurity CEO Ivan Sarini is back to talk about the hack and how Deepseek got so good so quickly. And Deirdre Bosa, who is all over this story before everyone else. Welcome to all of you. Bradley, I just thought it was interesting what you said about people using this model. By the way, I tried finally to download it this morning and couldn't. Maybe that's because of the hack. But yeah. What's your experience been, and what do you think, the take-up ultimately will be here in the U.S. of this Chinese offering?
Yeah, I mean, look, as an early stage venture investor, there's no such thing as investing in a company that isn't either an AI company or using AI in some way, or at least has an extremely good reason if they're not. But if they're using AI in some way, then the cost obviously becomes very material and really important. And using OpenAI or any of these other companies is really, really expensive. And yes, I understand that Deepseek is a Chinese company, but if any of my portfolio companies said, listen, we can build what we need at a fraction of the cost on an open source system, it's really hard as a fiduciary to tell them, no, you shouldn't do that. And so I think the problem isn't just that we have essentially a regulatory and a trade problem. And the problem is we got out innovated. This groupthink in the US where all of the companies approach this thing in the exact same way, and it really was all about sort of scale and cost. And like Alex Mike from Scale AI has made some really good points about this, which is we should be a lot more aggressive in innovation. We've kind of lost the innovation war on this, and we should ask, why is it that no one in America thought to do this?
Mm.
Well, I think people would probably say, hey, we're working on it. Like that's the next phase of all of this. And there's a whole shift in here from kind of training to inferencing, which is an important part of the story and makes it interesting that Broadcom's down. But before we get, or maybe I should turn to Tavis to talk more about that. We saw 15, 20% declines in some of these exposed names. Do you think that's warranted given what we've learned here about what DeepSeek's new model can do? Or do you think this is overdone?
Well, if it's just DeepSeek, probably not. But I think the reality is what we're seeing is capitalism at work. And nobody knows exactly how AI is going to play out. But there's a lot of money that's gone into the space. And what that means is there's going to be a lot of innovation. And some of that innovation isn't necessarily going to be great for profits of certain companies. And so, when I see some of these names down 15, 20%, it just screams to me that there's very little conviction out there. So even though these names have been straight up for the last 2 years, people are buying charts, not businesses. And that's always a dangerous situation.
That said, it's not like they're selling indiscriminately. Meta's higher today, Apple's higher. Both of them are beneficiaries of lower cost inferencing models, right?
Yeah.
They are the ones who are kind of deploying this technology. If it's less expensive to make it, even if China got there first, we're going to get there eventually as well. So there is a logic, Tavis, to what the market is doing here.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think in general, if you had to place a bet, is the real profit pool going to be on chips or models or applications that use those models? Like today, we're shifting over towards the application front. If AI is going to be a lot cheaper to deploy than most would have thought a couple months ago, that makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah. Deirdre, let's talk for a second about kind of how they got here. And one of the big controversies has been, did they do it with these inferior NVIDIA chips, these H800, which one's the better one, H100? So they did it with H800s. Let's just take it at face value because analysts say, look, it's possible that they did this and that the export controls forced this level of innovation. So thank you, DeepSeek, for showing the rest of the world it's possible. The question now is, do we keep with the export ban on these leading edge chips or not? And in fact, David Sachs, what do we call them, the crypto, the AI are just weighed in on this on Twitter. He says, this shows that the AI race will be very competitive and that President Trump was right to rescind Biden's EO, which hamstrung American AI companies without asking whether China would do the same. It didn't. He says, I'm confident in the U.S. We can't be complacent. There's a whole fight in here about open source AI models and whether we should be kind of going in the direction that OpenAI would prefer versus what DeepSeek and others are doing, kind of leaving this technology more open to the public. So how do you think policy-wise this is all going to play out?
Well, let's be clear. The export ban did not work. In fact, it backfired. It forced the Chinese to innovate in new ways that companies and giants here didn't have to. I call them the good chips and the dumbed down chips. The good ones are the H100s. That's the NVIDIA GPUs that everyone wants. NVIDIA 800s are the ones that the Chinese get because of the export ban. And what DeepSeek says it was able to do is create a model that outperforms some of our best models built here in America with those dumbed down chips. I mean, that is a point of debate. Some people say that the hedge fund of which DeepSeek was born out of had been sort of hoarding the better chips. But at the end of the day, Kelly, it doesn't really matter. We've moved on past that. We know now what DeepSeek proved is that these models and open source, nonetheless, I want to stress how important it is that DeepSeek's model is open source, can be built for a fraction of the price, whether that's 6 million or 60 million. That is far less than the hundreds of millions or the billions of dollars that OpenAI, Gemini, Google, and others have poured into this. So I think that's also maybe why you're seeing Meta in the positive today, because it's also working on open source metas. In fact, I can't remember who was one of the people we spoke to in the Valley on this, said that Meta is probably racing right now to figure out what DeepSeek did and build on top of it. And so there's all
right. So a lot of stuff has been said here. I want to come up real quick and I want to talk about a couple things. Okay, just kind of where my mind goes. Good morning to everybody. If you are just now tuning in, man, perfect time. We're talking about DeepSeek and this huge debacle. I believe that we are in the Cold War. I believe we are at war right now. And I believe that we are at a AI war. We're in an AI war. We're in a technology war right now. It is not a war with guns. It is a war with brutal force of artificial intelligence. It's a war of brutal force of technology. It's a war of who can fund things the cheapest and the fastest and all those things. So we're dealing with a lot, y'all. It's a lot to expose and a lot to uncover. So to me, this is where my mind kind of goes. Deepseek is this company. This is a startup, number one. They came out of nowhere, and this company came out of nowhere days after Donald Trump came on stage and said he's going to make America the AI and crypto capital of the world. Now you have exactly tech warfare. Miss Aisha understood that, right? So understand that we're in a tech warfare. We're in spiritual warfare, and we are in tech warfare right now. We are heavily in spiritual warfare, and we are heavily in tech warfare. Now, days after Donald Trump makes this announcement about America, this Chinese company comes out of nowhere, which is heavily funded by hedge funds. Now, let's talk a little bit more about it. So if the cost to do business has been extremely high with AI, with OpenAI, Google, Meta, ChatGPT, if these are the companies that are leading the way in AI, and each one of these companies have done a deep dive into the price analysis of what it takes to build out a solid AI platform that is secure and that actually works, how in the heck did they miss this opportunity? You got to really think about it now, because the most smartest people in the world, the smartest hackers, the smartest scientists, computer scientists, they all work for these large companies that are not startups. Meta's not a startup, right? Microsoft is not a startup. Facebook is not a startup, right? None of these are startup companies. These are companies that are some of the largest market cap companies in the world. How do they have all the smartest people hired already? And you tell me all those people missed the price of building an AI for $5 million? Because if y'all didn't know, right, this new company, Deepseek, they built their AI for like $5 or $6 million, while everybody else has been deploying way more. So the question is this: are they lying, or are they telling the truth? Now, to me, it don't matter. It doesn't matter. But as an investor, it does matter, because we really got to think about this. Is this a setup? Is this a setup to shake us out of the market? Because just think about it. How many people do you think have bought NVIDIA at the top? How many people do you think have bought NVIDIA above the price that I showed y'all? Because look, let's look at the last month for NVIDIA. NVIDIA went all the way. Let's look at the last 6 months. Okay. In the last 6 months, the highest level NVIDIA went was like $150, but there's been a stock split, but $150 on the current is the highest. Today, we're sitting at 121 right now. How many people would you assume bought NVIDIA in the 140s, the 130s, the 150s, right? I guarantee you a whole lot of people have been buying this in those high price points. And what do you think has happened? Now they're tanking the price, right, down to 118 being the lowest on January 27th. It is absolutely diabolical what they do to retail investors. Remember, y'all. So now, what does this have to do with crypto? Let's talk about it. So we are so hyped up because you got to remember, Meta, all of these companies are US companies. And now this Chinese company comes out of nowhere and sends all of our US tech companies crashing, right? This is a huge rug pull in the stock market. So now let's talk about it in the crypto side of things. It shows us that we have to be diligent because we're so in love with XRP and what XRP can do But what if another country comes out with something that is just as competitive out of nowhere as XRP? Do we turn our back on XRP, right? Or do we continue to believe because we believe this long? I'm not going to tell you what to do, but I just wanted to kind of put a thought in your head so you can start thinking as we're moving through this space today. These are very trying times that we are in right now as investors. And the same thing you saw happen to NVIDIA, where a lot of people are panicking right now because their investments are down, or as much money as they had, they don't have anymore because they did not secure their bag at the top, or whatever the case may be, right? Understand something, family. We're going to experience this in the crypto market as well. Bitcoin has been accelerating. XRP has been going up. Solana going up. All these tokens have been going up. At some point, there has to be a pullback. How deep and how far will this pullback happen? I don't know. But I will tell you, if you're buying any of these crypto assets right now, and especially things like XRP, HBAR, if we get a pullback, do not be upset. Do not be sad. Do not be frightened, because this is the nature of the market. Anything, any news, anything can come out the same way we experienced with NVIDIA happening. The same thing can happen in this space over here. So I just wanted to make that clear before we move forward, because it is extremely important to have this type of attitude moving forward. Now, something that Andreessen Horowitz said, right? Something that Andreessen Horowitz said was this. He said that he believes we are in what's called the Sputnik moment for AI and big tech companies in the United States. A lot of you all were not born, including myself, but I have a question. Is there anybody on the call that was born around 1957? Is there anybody on the call that was born in the 50s? I know I was. I wasn't even thought of. I wasn't even a thought. Like, you know what I mean? I might not even have been a thought from my grandparents in 1957. I'm going to be real with y'all, right? Like, my grandparents probably wasn't even thinking about me in 1957, okay? But if there's anybody on the call that was born in the 50s or even the 60s, this was a huge shift and a huge change to America. So I want to take some time before we go into all of this crypto mumbo jumbo, and I want to talk about the Sputnik moment. And this is going to be a huge lesson, right? I love to give you guys history lessons. This is going to be a history lesson for you today. So the name of this article is Sputnik and the Origins of the Space Age. Few Americans considered the reception of Friday, October 4th, 1957, at the Soviet Union's embassy in Washington, D.C., to be anything out of the ordinary. It was the appropriate culmination of a week-long set of international scientific meetings. It was also in the cynical Cold War world of international intrigue between the United States and the Soviet Union, an opportunity to gather national security intelligence and engage in petty games of an one-up-man mission between the rivals. This one would prove far different. The one-up-man mission continued, but it was far from petty. To a remarkable degree, the Soviet announcement that evening changed the course of the Cold War. So what happened, y'all? What happened? Well, if y'all didn't know, I'm gonna try to, because I don't want to read the whole thing. I'm gonna drop this inside the Discord so y'all can go and read this. But here we go. The inner turmoil that Hagen felt on Sputnik night, as the October 4th and the 5th has come to be called, reverberated through the American public in the days that follow. 2 generations after the event, words do not easily convey the American reaction to the Soviet satellite. The only appropriate characterization that begins to capture the mood on October 5th involves the use of the word hysteria. Pay attention, y'all. A collective mental turmoil and soul searching followed as American society thrashed around for the answers to Hagen's questions. Almost immediately, two phases entered the American lexicon to define time: pre-Sputnik and post-Sputnik. Yes, the article will be dropped inside of our Discord group. If you're not in our Discord group, make sure you reach out to me or whoever invited you to this call to get inside of our Discord group. The other phrase that soon replaced earlier definitions of time was space age. With the launch of Sputnik 1, the space age had been born and the world would be different ever after. Sputnik 1 launched on October 4th, 1957 from the Soviet Union's rocket testing facility in the desert near the Kazakh Republic. Okay. Now, what was the issue with this, y'all? I'm not going to go through and read all of this, but here was the issue. The issue was that America was not ready for the Soviet Union to launch their satellites into space. America always wants to be number one. But in the 1957, they weren't, right? The Soviet Union was the first country to go to space with a satellite. What happened after this was what was called the birth of NASA, right? Understand that after the Soviet Union sent their satellites into space, America then decided, oh, we are far behind. This is what we call the Sputnik moment for America. So if we fast forward now, right, family, to 2025, where for the last couple of years, we've had an SEC, we've had a CFTC, we've had a White House that has not been the best for AI innovations here in the United States. They've held us back, and they've allowed countries like Russia, China, South Africa, right, India, Southeast Asia, to become the head of not just AI, but also blockchain technology as well. These countries are far killing us. We are dealing, President Trump, we are going through the next Sputnik moment. And if you don't think that wealth was built during the first Sputnik moment in 1957 when NASA and the space age was created, you are mistaken. A lot of wealth was built back then. And the same thing that happened then is the same thing that's going to happen right now. Your investments into the right companies, into the right ideas, into the right protocols, into the right businesses, right, will be the reason why your last name will be different than your last name before. I need you to understand that. See, Marion, if there's no Zolikoffers in your family that is rich and wealthy, that ends after 2025. Zatrick Pierce, if there's no other Pierces in your family that is extremely rich and wealthy, don't worry. The Pierce last name will be rich and wealthy. It's going to happen because we are in the right space at the right time. See, everything is about being in the right space at the right time. The Soviet Union was in the right space. They sent their satellites to the right space at the right time. Let's get to it, y'all. Let's get to it. So now that y'all kind of have a better look, in my opinion, of what's happening, right? Let's go ahead and dive into what the CEO of Scale AI has to say about Deepseek and at Davos with the World Economic Forum this past week. Pay attention.
the Chinese labs, they have more H100s.
Let me turn this up real quick. Here we go.
The Chinese labs, they have more H100s than people think.
And these are the highest powered NVIDIA chips that they were not supposed to have.
Yes. My understanding is that Deepseek has about 50,000 H100s, which they can't talk about, obviously, because it is against the export controls that the United States has put in place. And I think it is true that, I think they have more chips than other people expect, but also on a go-forward basis, they are going to be limited by the chip controls and the export controls that we have.
Look how young my boy is. CEO of Scale AI. All these AI CEOs is like 18, 19, 20 years old, right? And his name is Alexander Wang. My boy Alexander Wang. All right, now let's dive into CoinMarketCap. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to go directly to the sector right here that says AI. And I want to look at the top AI and big data tokens by market cap, right? If y'all did not know, this is where y'all should be, this is where your focus should potentially be, right? If we're in an AI war, how can you take advantage of it, not just on the stock side, but how can you take advantage of it on the crypto and the big data side? Well, by investing into some of these projects. Now, I'm not going to tell you which ones I think are better than the other ones, but one of my favorite ones that is on the list is this one right here called ICP, and it's sitting at 888 right now. Okay, $8.88, which, to some people may be more expensive, but if you take a look right now, there really ain't many AI tokens, AI protocols that are worth pennies. Most of them are pretty expensive in value, I would say, in regards to cryptos, right? They're not at pennies. A lot of these are at $4, $5, $6, $8, dollars per coin, right? So I'm not going to tell you how to look at this, but I am going to tell you to go and look at this and do your own research. And if you need further help, you guys can join us at the Coffee and Crypto Network. We have 7 calls a week in our Discord group, okay? Me and John lead the call. Sana leads the call. David Coleman leads the call, right? And we really try to bring you as much value as possible, right, inside of that Discord group.
America is going to be very rich again, and it's going to happen very quickly. It's time for the United States to return to the system that made us richer and more powerful than ever before. Do you know the United States in 1870 to 1913, all tariffs, and that was the richest period in the history of the United States, relatively speaking. In other words, relatively. And they set up the Great Tariff Commission of 1887, and this commission had one function: what to do with all the money that we took in. It was so enormous that they had no idea. It was a blue ribbon committee. It was set up 1887, and what to do with all of the money that we had. And again, Teddy Roosevelt was a beneficiary, because when McKinley was killed, he took over this vast sum of money, and he did all of those national parks and all of the other things. And I'm not knocking him, but he was given a vast amount of money. And that was all made through tariffs. We had no income tax. The income tax came in 1913. As I said in my speech last week, instead of taxing our citizens to enrich foreign nations, we should be tariffing and taxing foreign nations to enrich our citizens. Does that make sense, right?
All right. So, sorry, y'all. I'm trying to. Jesus Christ. All right, folks taking me from my show, man. Folks taking me from the show, man. Hey, man, y'all look harder, man. Coffee and Crypto, we on YouTube, baby. Hey, it don't take much to find us these days, man. All right. Now, let's get to it. So Trump just called for Congress to abolish income taxes. Let's go, Trump. Hey, because listen, Lord knows, Lord knows what's happening with that. All right? Hey, okay? Okay? Lord knows. Okay? Some folks ain't paid their income tax since 2015. All right. Some of y'all ain't fooling me. Some of y'all far behind on them taxes. All right. Some of y'all praying real hard. And so for all y'all people that was voting for Kamala, black folks, all right, most of y'all ain't even paid y'all taxes for 2, 3, 4 years. I know how we operate. All right. This is why you needed Uncle Trump on the line. Kamala was going to raise the taxes so we can send some more money to Ukraine. You know what I mean? So, hey, look, I'm happy Uncle Trump in office. I don't care. I don't care what y'all got to think. I'm grateful Uncle Trump is in office because a lot of stuff, because let me tell you something. And I heard this last night, and I'm going to say it's my podcast. I'm going to say what's on my mind. All right. Trump is handling America like a real man would. Real man would handle it the way Trump's handling it. Because let me tell you something. President Obama handled it the way that a woman would want him to handle it. I'm going to just say it straight like that. Like being too nice, you know, because I've been in relationships before and women have told me, oh, you're being too aggressive. You're being too abrasive. You're not being nice enough to me, honey. You're not talking to me nice, honey. Well, sometimes we can't talk nice because being a man ain't always about being nice. It ain't always about everybody liking you. Donald Trump's doing what's best. This man is standing in front of the world right now. When Colombia said they wasn't going to take their criminals back, when they said they wasn't going to take these people back, Donald Trump said, listen, if you ain't going to take them back, well, guess what we going to take? And guess what? 24 hours later, they came back with a different thing and said, man, listen, Trump, we can't handle that. Go ahead. We'll take our people back and we'll figure it out. Trump is standing 10 toes down on business. And you can like it or you can hate it, but it's happening. You can like it or you can hate it, but it is happening in our face. Sorry, y'all, I had to go there. I had to go there. Somebody need to hear it. Anyway, Arizona Senate moves forward with Bitcoin reserve legislation. Okay, so Arizona is moving forward for the state of Arizona to potentially pass their own legislation for a Bitcoin reserve. I thought that was kind of a cool little highlight right there to show you guys that policies are moving forward. Okay. Now, next thing is this. Brad Garlighouse, the CEO of Ripple, tweeted out yesterday some thoughts on maximalism. And he couldn't have said it any better. Some thoughts on maximalism. Let me say this as clearly as I can. The crypto industry has a real shot here and now to achieve the many goals we have in common. If we work, and that's a big if, we work together instead of tearing each other down, this is not and never will be a zero-sum game. He says, number one, I own XRP, Bitcoin, and Ethereum. He said, among a handful of others. He's not just stuck on XRP, even if he's the CEO. Number two, if a government digital asset reserve is created, I believe it should be representative of the industry, not just one token. Number three, he said, maximalism remains the enemy of crypto progress. And I'm very glad to see fewer and fewer folks ascribe to this outdated and misinformed thinking. I love Brad Garlighouse. And this is why Ripple is so great. This is why these companies are going to be so great, because he's not trying to compete. He is looking to collaborate and create something even greater with all the great companies, not just allow for the world to be like, oh, Ripple is the best. Because again, y'all, this ain't Lord of the Rings. There is not one ring to rule them all. But guess what? This is Lord of the Rings in regards to all of the rings working together. There were 7 rings of power in the Lord of the Rings. It was 7 rings of power. There was just one main ring that they needed, but there were 7 rings of power that went to different parts of the world. It's the same thing here. There are different cryptos of power, but there will be one that may rule. There may be one that may rule a little bit more over all the other ones, but they're all going to work cohesively together. Let's keep going.
Talking about another major would be Ripple, XRP. So, you know, the SEC made this very interesting stance against it in January of 21. Bank of America had been utilizing it for 100% of their internal transactions for approximately 2 years, and they was shut down. And so this really efficient system, the second largest coin, now is way back because of how it was regulated. And so that regulator is getting out now, Gary Gensler. And so, you know, President Trump's met with the CEO of Ripple a couple times. And so I personally think that Ripple is being looked at by the United States as a SWIFT system alternative, as we are looking at digitizing, tokenizing, and Ripple has the ability to kind of be like the internet and be this platform that can be the guardrails of the future, where we tokenizing with HBAR and XLM and different coins like this. But it's an exciting time. I'm just looking for the application so that we can now start talking to regular folks every day. And we can say, this is how this changes your life, not just here's the technology's name.
Wow. And this is literally on the floor, right, at FinTech TV, on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. He mentioned XRP, HBAR, and XLM. This is the CEO of Sound Planning Group. You can look that group up. I did it last night. Okay. Now, I got another major announcement coming out of the blockchain space. There's this company called Ondo Finance, O-N-D-O Finance. As you can see, they have something right on the front of their screen says Wall Street 2.0 is coming. What could that even mean? What does it mean? So I want to go over to Ondo Finance's website. Okay. Institutional grade finance now on chain. Oh, wow. Look at this, y'all. Look at this, y'all. OUSG, US Treasuries, now live, 24/7 instant mints and redemptions. Oh, y'all know what time it is. Y'all know what time it is. Backed by the best. Look at this, y'all. Coinbase and Pantera. So this company is backed by Coinbase and Pantera, right? They got BlackRock listed here, everything. Goldman Sachs, they got leadership from Bridgewater, Goldman Sachs, BlackRock, right? But guess what? There's something that just came up. Do you see what I see? How many people see what I see, y'all? My boy Mike said my favorite morning show. Mine too, Mike. Mine too. Maybe I'm biased, but this is my favorite morning show right here. Now I want y'all to check this out, y'all, because it is we up right now, y'all. Hey, the Ripple team is up another one, because just like that, January 28th. This is hot off the press, y'all. This just dropped this morning, and I got so excited. Look at this, y'all. This is on Ondo's website. It says, Ondo Finance expands institutional reach with OUSG deployment on the XRP ledger. Boom. Yes, sir. So the OUSG, which is the Ondo short-term U.S. government treasuries, is now tokenized on the XRP ledger. Set to go live within the next 6 months, will bring OUSG on the XRPL's broad institutional user base. Look at this, y'all. This integration established an avenue for institutional DeFi and advanced cash management solutions. Oh, you know, hey, TJ Patterson. Yes, sir. That's what it says. Look at this, y'all. I know y'all see it. I know y'all saw it. We lit right now, y'all. We lit right now. So that was the first news that I had to drop, drop on your tune top this morning. You know what I mean? I had to drop directly on your tune top. I had to drop that on your head like, you know what I'm saying? Like some people drop their kids on their I had to drop this baby on your head right here, okay? Okay. All right. Next thing I got for y'all is this right here. Here's another announcement, y'all. January 27th, which was yesterday, crypto momentum in the US. What's next for Ripple payments? Let's talk about it. Well, check this out, y'all. Ripple has been the leading provider of digital asset infrastructure for financial institutions. They have recently secured 2 more key money transmitter licenses. Now remember, the first money transmitter license that they did was in New York. Now they've secured one in Texas. Now, why is this important, Vincent? Oh, let VO tell you why. So check this out, y'all. Money transmitter license in Texas. Pay attention, y'all. Pay attention. Pay attention. Hold on. Why is this important? Well, let me show y'all. Hold on. I typed the wrong thing in. Watch this, y'all. Here we go. Now, y'all remember we talked about this remember we talked about this a minute ago. We talked about this a minute ago, and we haven't talked back about this company. But, the New York Stock Exchange was the only stock exchange, okay, in the country. Well, guess what? Texas said, man, we need a Texas stock exchange. So there's a new stock exchange, which is known as the Texas Stock Exchange. So if we go back here, and Ripple now has a money transmitter license in New York, and they have one in Texas. They can now handle the strong demand for real-time global payments from both banks and crypto businesses, bringing the total to more than 50 money transmitter licenses. Texas and New York have defined regulations and the stringent licensing requirements with robust compliance standards and regulatory oversight. So now Ripple has both money transmitter licenses in the only 2 states in the world, in the United States, to have their own stock exchange. If you think about it, how much money flows through the stock exchange yearly, daily, hourly, secondly? Lots of money. Ripple is setting themselves up to be the key player in this space. I got more news. Press release. This came out January 27th as well. Hot off the press. The United Nations Development Program and Stellar Development Foundation join forces to advance blockchain solutions for financial inclusion. Wow. Wow. You remember them aliens from Toy Story? They was like, Hey, that's how I'm feeling right now. You know what I mean? When I be finding this information, I'll be like, All right. Now, who is the United Nations connected to? Let's find out. Watch this. United Nations. Uh-oh. The United Nations and the World Bank are partners that work together on economic development, humanitarian efforts, and crisis response. Okay? So the United Nations and the World Bank are like this. They really partners. So now, so you tell me that Stellar being partnered with the United Nations is also partnered with the World Bank. And what do we know about the World Bank? Well, guess what? The World Bank focuses on poverty reduction and the improvement of living standards worldwide by providing low interest loans, interest-free credit, okay? What else? Interest-free credit and grants to developing countries for education, health, infrastructure, communication. The World Bank works in over 100 countries, okay? And they are connected to, they have all of these subcategories right here. Vincent, why was this important? Because if we go back, remember, I told you all, XRP is for institutions, XLM, Stellar, is for the people. They are going to be using Stellar to be able to start what they call UBI, Universal Basic Income, where they're going to give people money as incentives to take what they call the mark of the beast. This was in Revelations. This is all coming true now. This is all coming true. Now, while everybody has been focused on this whole drop of the tech market because of Deepseek, guess what's been climbing every single second? You've guessed it. Real world asset tokenization, y'all. We've been talking about this narrative for so long. And as you can see right now, we're like literally, y'all, we've had a sharp spike literally since forever, right? We've had a sharp spike, right? We've watched the real world asset tokenization just spike up out of nowhere, y'all. Okay? So just know that while everything else is happening in the world, more and more assets are going online, okay? Or on chain. One of the last announcements that I have before we end today's call, and I do any other like things, and we take our, we have our Q&A at the end, is this. There's a company called KPMG. Has anybody ever heard of KPMG before? And if you haven't, I'm going to go over to their website real quick. Okay. So who is KPMG? Let's figure out who they are real quick. So they seem like a firm that helps businesses. So it's basically a developmental firm, right? They're basically consultants, okay, for some of the largest institutional businesses in the world. Well, check this out. KPMG India forms a strategic alliance with the Hash Graph to deliver co-branded enterprise-grade solutions built on Hedera in areas such as decentralized identity, real-world asset tokenization, which we just went and I told y'all was the narrative, and supply chain. Here's the article right here. This came out January 28th. Again, y'all, all of this information is hot off the press. So what does that mean? Well, guess what?
Yes, maybe just to make one announcement, indeed. We are partnering with Almeda Ventures, which is the venture arm of Almeda Holding, one of the leading conglomerates in Africa, investing in Web3 projects with major focus on 3 verticals. sustainability, on-chain finance and DeFi, and last but not least is consumer engagement. But at the same time, we finally found 3 use cases where we are going to collaborate with our partners at Dfinity. And I believe that combination is going to be unbeatable. What does that mean? Hedera Hashgraph brings the sustainability aspect when it comes to energy consumption, when it comes to a lower carbon footprints. At the same time, we bring another aspect which is needed for institutional adoption, which is governance, combined with the great and the powerful smart contract structure that the guys at ICP managed to develop over the last few years, including powerful EI components that have been developed recently by the great team. And it's no wonder, since they are PhD students out of University of Zurich. So I'm not surprised at all. It's the same university where Albert Einstein has graduated. So very well selected, Tom. Thank you.
All right, y'all. So if you look in the background right here, you see this logo, Internet Computer, you see that, ICP? And then look to the far right. You see this logo right here? What is that? Hedera Hashgraph? Okay. Well, family, you know, I just wanted to really share some of the key things that I found interesting, that I discovered as I was doing my research over the last couple of days. You know, if you are not in our Discord group yet, I'd highly recommend. Tonight we have a basics beginner trading session with Sana. Okay, that starts at 8 p.m. If you've been wanting to learn how to day trade, get into the trading space, make money daily. Because listen, I believe you should know how to make money in bed. Like everybody, because here's the thing. Either you get ahead of the curve and learn how to do it, or you're going to be forced to learn how to do it when life happens to you. So the thing is, you should be ready for life to happen to you by being prepared with these types of skill sets. Okay. I know for a fact that if I was stuck in another country and I could not get out because of some issue, as long as I have a cell phone and I have Wi-Fi, I know for a fact, or I have a computer, I know I could log into my trading account and I could at least try to look and see, man, what do I see? What kind of trade can I get in to make me some money while I'm out here? If you don't have a skill set like that, I'm telling you, this is why you probably need it. You need it because there's going to come a time with all this AI that your job may be at jeopardy. And if it is at jeopardy, you need to learn skill sets that can help you be prepared. I believe at Coffee and Crypto Network, we have everything that it takes to help you go to the next level. Right now, family, our Discord group is at $50 a month right now. If 2 figures a month is too expensive for you to learn how to make 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 figures, you know, whatever, I don't know. But if that's too much for you, I understand. But for those that are interested, I would highly recommend that you join. This is not just a Discord group that you sit inside and we send stuff to. We actually have meetings. When you're inside of our Discord group, you can set up one-on-one office hour sessions for 15, 20 minutes throughout the weeks and meet with us and ask your questions, right? You get 50% off on any of our master classes, any of our boot camps. You get it 50% off for being inside of our Discord group. There's so much value. So if you've been wanting to gain access with me, if you've been wanting to work with me and my team directly, right now is the time to join our Discord group. And believe me, the price is going up very, very soon. So I'd highly recommend that everybody lock in and lock yourself in at this price, because once we increase the price, I'm not bringing the price back down. It's just not going to happen. So I would highly recommend that everybody join us, lock in with us, and also and come make some money with us. And for the ones that have been tuned into our boot camp, we just finished week 2 last night of our boot camp. I want to say congratulations. We now have 4 weeks left. And starting next week, we will be starting promo for our next boot camp. that will start after this 6-week boot camp is over. We will start probably immediately with the next boot camp. So if you did not get to join this boot camp, feel free to join us on this next boot camp. And with all the updates that's happening in crypto, I promise you, you want to be a part of the boot camp. And here's why. Because there's always things changing. And we keep you abreast and we keep you up to date with the latest and the greatest. So with that being said, I want to open up the lines to anybody that has one thing, anything that they liked, learned, or loved from today's show. Or if you just have something that you want to share that maybe we missed, I just want to invite you over. And if you are interested in joining our Discord group, you can feel free. I'm about to bring you up, Zatrick, right now. If you're interested in joining our Discord group, you can text me. Or even if you just want me to have your number, all right? Even if you just want to lock in with me, y'all, like everything ain't about selling. Some things about just relationships. You can text me at 678-460-6504. Again, that number is 678-460-6504. You can text me the word Discord if you're interested in the Discord. You can text me boot camp if you're interested in joining our boot camp, or you can just text me your name if you just want to lock in with me. That number is 678-460-6504. With that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and invite up my boy Zatrick so he can come up here and share any updates, knowledge that he may have as well. Let's get it.
Hey man, great show today, man. You know, I wanted to say I love how you brought in the deep fake. I mean, my fault. The Deepseek information. And I love how you like made it to where this could happen to us in crypto, you know? And to me personally, I felt like it was just a way to get people to get like scare out, you know what I'm saying? Like make people hop out just because like the information that you just gave just tells us that in the long run, everything's going to be okay. But, you know, in the short term, you know, they're trying to pump us out, man. But I just love how, you know, you also didn't give no, like, you should buy this coin, but you brought great information for 3 coins that I do hold. And I always tell people just go back and watch the video, you know, rewatch these things because, you know, it's like you be dropping so much gems that you may not even realize what just happened, but it's like, it's just good, bro. Because even when you said something about like buying right now, because all these prices are like unprecedented heights, and you don't never think about a drastic pullback. And the thing about crypto is, I remember like one day I had lost like, well, this was years ago. I had lost like $2,000. That was the most money I ever lost in the crypto. And it was in the crypto market. Like just one random day I woke up and my thing was $2,000 down. So like the fact that you mentioned that is like, because things were going up, I forgot that moment, but I do appreciate the real, I guess, reality check is what I would call it, man.
Thank you. Man, you're very welcome, bro. Welcome, little bro. Movie. Let's go. So just expanding on that thought. You know, Zatrick was talking about how like, here's the thing. This is all I was saying. Time, and this is for all of my new investors. Time in the market is more important than timing the market. I'm going to say it again. Time in the market is more important than timing the market. Meaning, the more time I spend in the market, I'm going to collect these tokens at different price points anyway. But if I'm only focused on timing the market, then I'm not going to ever probably get the price I want because I'm so focused on timing. So the thing is, just get in. It doesn't matter. Just get in. Because if you're focused on holding these assets long-term anyway, it doesn't matter about what the price point is today. I don't give a damn about a $3 XRP when I plan to hold it till 2030 anyway, because it's going to be above that, right? So that's a major key that changed my life. And I want to call up Billy. I saw he had on his shades. So go ahead, Billy, take it away.
I tested them out, baby. I tested them out. Actually got that new song in my heart. Everything gonna be all right. It's gonna be look, I'm gonna tell you what. I've got I can't even say the word influential people. People has got influence calling me. Calling me Vince. They're calling me Vince.
They
Crazy.
calling you?
They're calling me. Crazy. I'm telling you, it's crazy.
Hey.
Crazy, brother. I'm telling you, it's like some of them are asking. Some of them are friends, and I can tell them like some of them are friends, and I can tell that they care about me because what I said happened, but not that I knew anything. And then one asked me this morning, says, everything went up and I should have sold. And I thought to myself, hey, that's not holding, that's trading. That's trading, Vince. That's not
trading.
holding, that's trading. The thing
Yep.
about it is, if you know you're trading when you're holding and you know it went up, you know it's going to be all right because it's going to come back down. But look, if it's going to go down, you know, you can say it went down, or you can say, or some people say it went down and I don't know why. But isn't it a good feeling to know that it went down and you know why? You have a better probability. I'm trying to get that word in. I just can't get that word in. Probability. I'm working on that probability. I can't say it fast. I probability. Probability. A better probability that I know what the hell I'm talking about. Had one guy last week is I'm trying to get some XRP, but I'm trying to get it cheap. He said, you ever heard of it? I said, I think I have. He said he had bought 5,000 XRP at $2.90. Of course, I said, thank you. And I said I had heard of it. But I said, he said, I was thinking about buying some more. I said, you know, I see a fair value gap at 262. He said, what the hell is that? I said, there's no way I can tell you what I just said. They no way. You know, what's that song? What's their song? If you don't know it by now, you may never know it. You can't tell them in 15 damn seconds what it is.
Billy gonna start a band. Me and Billy got a boy band.
I've been playing some music, man. I've been closing the restaurant and going to play music. And somebody says, how can you do that? I said, because I've been paying attention. What do you mean by that? There's no way I can tell you in 15 damn seconds or minutes what I mean by that. But I sent him a little smiley face. First, I put a celebration emoji on 262 with a horizontal ray going right across to it. And then when it went right down to it and went, I screenshotted it. I just felt good about it. I can't help it. And I said, how do you think that went? Now, I did send it to him maybe a day later, but it was like I screenshot it, sent it to him. But I don't know if he caught it. I don't know if he caught it. I don't know if he was watching. I don't know if he knew what to watch or what to watch for. You have to know it, you know. If you know it, everything just might have a better probability of everything's gonna be all right.
That's right. That's right.
We all working at it.
Good.
I missed you in the last couple little transitions from New Year's to here. I'm glad you're back.
Yes, sir.
I want to see what's behind door number 3. You got 3 damn doorknobs, so I want to know what's behind door number 3. Let's get to it again. I'll see you on tonight's call. Tonight's call, sure will. I'll check that out.
Yep. We'll be on there. We'll be on there tonight.
6 p.m. You have to be in the Discord to get that, right?
Yes, sir. 7 p.m. Eastern time. 6 p.m. Central time. 4 p.m. Pacific time.
That's when you get to Pacific time, you lose.
I don't never know the time at Pacific. I ain't gonna lie to you. Y'all do y'all own calculations.
How much is it? How much is it? I'll be getting trading for free, but the Discord is how much?
Oh, it's $50.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Probably the cheapest. Probably the cheapest group. Probably one of the cheapest groups out there right now. And we don't do it for the money. To be honest with you, I mean, like, yeah, we do it for the money. I ain't gonna lie, we do it for the money. But it's not really for the money because $50 is not enough for y'all to pay me for this information. To be real with you, like y'all can never pay me enough. Like if I truly asked for what I believe I'm worth, I probably would have nobody rocking with me. So right now, I'm just gonna stick to where I'm at. But just be ready. I'm gonna ask for what I'm worth someday soon. And for the ones that did not get in while I was undervalued, just like crypto, it's kind of like, investing into me is kind of like investing in crypto while it's undervalued, because once we're in that value season, which is coming, like once I have a lot of people that's sending me screenshots. Vincent, I made my first 100,000. Vincent, I made my first million. I've had a couple people but I can't, it's not enough. So when we have those stories. Yeah. So you want to be a part of this group, Discord, before we have those stories, because when we have those stories, the price is going to be astronomical. I promise you, because I know I'm going to be feeling myself. I know I am.
Astronomical. You had to break that down for me sometime. Astronomical.
Yep. Yes, sir. Well, God bless you.
Amen.
So, all right, everybody. So that was my show for today. Again, y'all, if you're interested in joining our Discord group, you can text me. Y'all got the phone number. If you ain't joined the damn Discord group by now, man, what is you holding on to $50 for, man? 678-460-6504. Again, the number is 678-460-6504. Stop being a damn cheapskate and invest in your damn self. I will see y'all at the